righty, guys. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are in the world. Thank you so much for tuning in to another episode of Market Check brought to you by BB. The title of today's stream is Measured Crypto Optimism. I'll be honest, I don't even really know what that means. I don't know.
We gotta measure it.
That's one of
It's
those
at
things
zero.
that like Chat GPT spit out and like one of our boys just kind of ran with it. I don't know what measured crypto optimism even means because I'm not feeling optimistic in the slightest. I'm not feeling measured in the slightest. And I don't really want to do anything regarding crypto. So everything is off the table for me today. Everything in the title. I would love to go golf, but it's raining and I can't do that. I'd love to go have a big breakfast, maybe some French toast with some orange juice and black coffee. But I can't do that either. So I guess we are going to have to do some measured crypto optimism today, whatever that means. But guys, thanks again for being here. We're going to try to have some fun today, despite the absolute carnage of this Bitcoin candle, right? That little red candle just wreaking havoc on all your bags. Guys, before we get too deep into the stream, do me a solid, show some love, show some support. It's really simple. There's a little button, and it's called a like button. It's a little thumbs up. And all you have to do is just hit that button. And it really helps us out, guys. So do me a favor, hit that thumbs up button, hit that like button, do something, show some love, show some support. I don't know, leave a comment, do something, right? Just don't do nothing. Just don't do nothing. But yeah, I mean, guys, it is a Friday. It still is an FOMC week. This is the most obvious region in which price was going to reject from. We were talking about this level for weeks. It's basically the point of control of this range. We've been watching it intently, and it's an annoying level, but there is really nothing above it, right? As soon as you flip this level, that point of control, and for those, I think most of you probably know what it is, but if you don't know what a point of control is, it's that red line that Tucker has drawn right there. So you draw a volume profile, or you put on a visible range volume profile, or some volume-based tool. And the region in which the most transacting has occurred is called the point of control. That right there, that red line is our point of control. If we are below it, that means that people are stuck up there. Either buyers are stuck or sellers push price down and are kind of in the money on their positions. So right now, that level is resistance. Until we flip that 118 point of control, it's not looking so hot, right? But here's the good news. We are in a structured uptrend right now. And I guess we're going to wildly speculate on where we could go next today. I don't think things look too bad, but maybe we're in for a very, very minor cool off while still holding market structure and this range. Tucker, Louie, good morning, guys. Thanks for being here. Tell me what you're seeing out there.
Well, I don't know which way to draw this, right? Because, I mean, you're right. We are in an uptrend right here. Marginally higher high. Now we're here. I mean, to me, just looking at it, I think best case you get some of this, at least this weekend, right? Because obviously it's Friday. We're going into the weekend. Going to be low liquidity. Hopefully we can not dump all weekend. And I think in order to do that, Bitcoin needs to, hang out above 115 probably. So that's kind of the spot for Bitcoin. This is that level we were talking about yesterday, though. Really more so this one, actually. Right, because this was, and I know you guys know Jack has talked about this all the time, but the origin of the move down, right? The origin of the move was right here, right? And we came right into it a couple wicks above and failed. So I think, like I said, best case is we hang out above 115. If not, you start looking towards value very low, which, on a higher time frame is not the end of the world. And I do, like I said the other day, like I do understand the weekly market structure break wars. That was a long one, but I get it. I can see how you could consider this a shoulder. I'm just given what the Fed just did, and given we're going into Q4, I do think there's like an opportunity to dump a little bit, which is probably now for like probably just going into October. Like there's a possibility of that given how this looks, but I think you're still set up for a good Q4. So I don't know. Either way, hold 115 and we can hang out above there this weekend. If not, I'm looking more at 112 and then, probably a little bit lower on ETH and Sol, but it's not, we're not getting the best candles this morning, unfortunately. So that's kind of where I think we're at right now. But Meat Stick, what do you think?
Hey, Tucker, it's actually he goes by Mr. Meat Stick now. So yeah, let's just show respect.
I know he was working on his doctorate, so
he's taking his doctorate in meat stickology right now, but he hasn't actually finished his PhD in meat stickology. So he's still Mr. Meat Stick. But I think once Q4 hits and we actually see some green candles, he's gonna be Dr. Meat Stick.
Yeah. If you saw my GM post this morning, I was clearly studying some meat sticks this morning.
There were two of them.
Two.
They look nice. Yeah.
Yeah, chicken sausage.
Really?
Yeah.
Good for you.
Sausage.
Yeah, good for you.
Do you want to direct me on the chart, Louis, or do you want to pull up yours? Either way, it doesn't matter.
We could do a little. I could play director here.
Okay.
If you want to go to Bitcoin, like on like the 2 or the 3 hour.
Oh, going low. Let me just get rid of everything.
Yeah. So I mean, listen, we're still only a second day post FOMC. A lot of the time you see the FOMC price action kind of resolved in a way where that move gets retraced 75, 100% of the way. We didn't see that yesterday, right? When usually the next day, kind of whatever you see the day of FOMC, you kind of see, that Thursday, you see some retrace of some sort. Didn't see any of that. But I think we're seeing a little bit of it today. So I think yesterday was kind of a bit of more of a bull trap. But I feel as if Bitcoin may be entering some bull chop here. We're coming into a clear overhead resistance, that 117K level that Tuck drew out earlier, right? Coming into that key inflection point high, deviated above it locally here, kind of falling down below it. There's always a chance that they could flush us here, right? After deviating that high, that's always kind of a possibility. I feel like it's a little too obvious. I feel like there's, Bitcoin has methodically kind of climbed out of the lows here in a situation where it was very hard to kind of get long for it. So I really don't think there's a lot of froth buildup in Bitcoin right now. I haven't checked it to kind of back those claims. But if I had to guess, I would say there's not much froth right now on the long side. And I feel as if that there's a lot of sidelined capital right now who weren't kind of expecting this swift move. Well, not swift, but this kind of climb out of the lows. And that's kind of what has me leaning towards more of a bull chop scenario where we just continue to work through this overhead supply locally here and just chop. It's called bull chop for a reason, because you're chopping, right? But you're also kind of grinding higher at the same time. And those are kind of the hardest environments to navigate especially for people that aren't positioned yet. Constantly looking like it's going to roll over and then continues to like make higher lows or just chop higher. I think we can be in a scenario where we're just going to continue to bull chop, work through this overhead supply, eventually get back above 117, and then we're going to put in a massive candle for Bitcoin. I talked about that yesterday. Still, in that kind of mindset as far as what I think is going to happen. But sadly, the fact that we had FOMC this week, probably a lot of late longers got into the market yesterday. Those people have to be dealt with. And sadly, alts really didn't even get a chance to move much. So I think we're just going to be a little more choppy, probably heading into, probably until Monday or Tuesday next week, sadly. But I would like to see Bitcoin hold the high ground. Maybe we come back and flip that local structure we broke out of locally into support, like Tucker talked about. Run these kind of local lows here. But I think we could be entering a bull chop environment where everyone's just waiting for that shoe to drop, and it never happens, right? It never kind of happens. That's kind of my base case right now. I think we're going to chop around and continue to kind of work through overhead supply and eventually resolve higher.
So are you looking for this right here?
Yeah, something along those lines. Yeah, something along those lines. And we can call like this morning's drop. Like we can come a little deeper, right? We could still, run some of those lows, bounce hard, and then just continue to chop, right? So, yeah, we could see something like that.
Yeah.
So,
okay. What's your take on this? Because somebody pointed out in the comments the MACD on the weekly, unfortunately, doesn't look very good. So let's see here.
You know what? I was actually looking at that this morning. Funny enough, Tucker.
Yeah.
And what I noticed here, I noticed something kind of interesting, and this is actually what I think, not necessarily MACD, but I think this is what Jackus has been alluding to, is like just kind of a little pre-bull market cool down. Let me Tommy, in lieu of him being here, let me Tommy the screen from you just real quick, just the quickest Tommy you've ever seen.
Of course.
So looking at, this is a custom MACD that I made, so it's a slightly modified MACD. It's pretty similar. It's slightly different, and it gives it does some candle coloring when you get crosses, and it's smoothed then a little bit differently. What I was actually looking at was like the 3-day, and I wanted to compare it to what we saw last cycle, kind of before we really started to rip. We've been drawing some similarities between Q1 this year being like, we'll just say from this top to this nuke, right? So this was the tariff sell-off, whatever you want to call it, Q1. This was Q1 2020, which was obviously COVID. Now, we worked our way back up above the zero line, right? So for those that don't know, just like really simple MACD strategy would be above the zero line. I'll just make this like blue so you can see it. Above the zero line is bullish. Below the zero line, bearish. And obviously you get crosses above and below. So you kind of need to, you kind of need to properly understand, like, okay, this was a bullish cross down here, but you're so far below the zero line, it's probably not going to be like a huge deal. We're actually in a very bullish, like two-day, 3-day, weekly position on the MACD. Okay. We're above the zero line. We're kind of curling back down after a huge rally. I kind of think there's some similarities to this, which is what Jackus has been suggesting is going to happen. Something kind of like this. Let me just delete this line so it's a little bit more clean. And if you look at the position of the MACD, you can see the following. We had the Q1 sell-off. We had the Q1 sell-off. Then we move back up, print a little bearish cross, but above the zero line, which resolved to the upside, just like we did over here. Okay. And then print a higher high on MACD, higher high on MACD, above the zero line on the 3-day. And we're probably just coiling for something like this. And we're probably going to want to just wait for like that 2-day or 3-day to cross back bullish well above the zero line. So I think it actually looks bullish on like the 3-day. And I would argue also the weekly. It's just we're clearly losing a little bit of momentum right here. But this is not at all screaming to me like we're about to have some monster sell-off, right? It could just be a little local reaccumulation. Nothing more, nothing less. So I just wanted to point that out. Like, that's how I'm viewing the MACD here, is just something maybe akin to this, right? Just maybe a little cool off. Doesn't even need to be super deep. We don't even need to take out any lows. We might just have to sit here for another week, right? Because it looks really similar to pre-bull market for ETH last cycle. If you see what I'm talking about there.
Yeah. Yeah, that looks good. I like that comparison.
Thank you, Meat. Thank you, Mr. Meat. Sorry about that. I didn't mean to disrespect you, Mr. Meat.
Yeah, no, I would agree. I think we're just in a reaccumulation phase for ETH. We ripped hard off the lows, for the last four or 5 months. Not many time-based consolidations for ETH other than that first one. That fresh off the lows. And right now we're kind of sandwiched in between the all-time high from 2021 and that range. The range highs of 4K, right? So we're kind of compressing and reaccumulating in between a rock and a hard place. And I'm betting on the trend, which is to continue higher, right? So this, consolidation under a resistance in a bullish asset is bullish, in my opinion, right? It's more or less a pressure cooker. So yeah, that would make sense with what you're showing as well.
Yeah, it just looks like we're cooling off a little bit. And just something I want to point out. So like this is a prime example of people will really overthink and will not use a very useful and clear like indicator, just like a MACD. They'll use it incorrectly. And let me show you what I mean. Last cycle, the amount of people that probably looked at this on like the 2-day and they're like, oh, the cycle's over here, right? Like, you need to understand, like, price doesn't even need to move down when MACD is moving down. You need to understand like context and like confluence is everything. Look at the kind of move that came out of this MACD sell-off. Like, price moves sideways while MACD was moving down, right? That's most likely what we're seeing right here, right now, is there is still serious demand for this asset. And look at what's happening. Let me just clean this up a little bit. Not to do like a whole MACD crash course, but I'm just saying, like, you're looking at this like this right here, and we're seeing the same thing. We're seeing price moving sideways and MACD is moving down. That's bullish, right? Like, that's telling you right there that this is more of a consolidation rather than some distributive, like it's about to be over. When it's about to be over and you're about to seriously sell off, what you typically see is like price and MACD are both starting to move down together. And then when you cross below the 0 line on some of your higher time frames, that's when you're going to get the rug ski. Okay. This is screaming reaccumulation to me, like momentum-based cool-off, not like not anything like serious going on with price. All right.
Yeah. When you have the oscillators resetting and you have price maintaining, that's extremely bullish, right? Because the oscillators are resetting, price isn't giving anything back. That's a bullish continuation setup. And I don't really use MACD much, but it works kind of similar with the RSI as well. People start to see the RSI topping and rolling over. Yeah, maybe like lower time frames that could be indicative of a local top, but like the higher time frame oscillators, when you see price maintaining, it just like ranging or pausing, and you're seeing these oscillators reset. It's just like a pause, taking a breather, and then when those oscillators turn back up, price goes for it again, right? So when you're seeing price remaining its structure and pausing and the oscillators resetting, that's a bullish setup.
Yeah, and like look at the daily time frame. We've already basically had a full reset, like back down to the 0 line. And price is like, look at it this way. Obviously, context is key with any form of technical analysis. Let me just clear this chart up. We don't need all these lines. Way too many lines, right? Way too many lines. You've already on your daily time frame, like you've already printed all these divs here, and price is still holding up, right? Like you might see one more little like pop down and then probably curls up, right? Probably something like this. So I don't know. I mean, I'm open to moving a little bit lower, but like just not really seeing like the major bearish setup here. I can see a little bit lower, but it's not screaming to me like you're about to see some monster retrace.
Is the RSI resetting as well, like on Bitcoin? Actually, I'm looking at it. Yeah, kind of.
Bitcoin daily RSI, you're above it reset, and now you're back above the 50 level, which is also bullish.
So
Here, I'll show you guys the. I built out this script, which is pretty cool. So what you can do is we can do an RSI spaghetti. So we'll do like the 4 hour, 6 hour, 8 hour, 12 hour daily, 2 day, 3 day. It's a lot. And then we'll just do standard RSI calculation. So we'll be able to see all the important time frames right here. So we're looking at a spaghetti chart of RSI here, and I can smooth it out so it's a little easier to see. And here we'll go down to like the, let me see. So we included the 4 hour. Yeah, we should probably go down to like the 4 hour then. We'll start here. And then what we can do is we'll put a smooth on there. So let's just do double smooth. So you're basically between like your 4 hour and your 3 day RSI, like you've basically just kind of reset down to about the 50. You've got your 4 hour sitting at 47, 6 hour at 50. I could see a little bit lower. Like it typically seems like before, a big move higher, you'll typically get these like lower time frame RSIs dipping with higher time frames still up here. Lower time frame dip with higher still here. You get some blue candles here. So maybe something to look out for, which would just be like a quick dip like this with your higher time frame still hanging out up here, and then we can move higher. So I don't know. I mean, it's just kind of an awkward structure. But I'm not like overly concerned with what I'm seeing. Bitcoin's still very much so in an uptrend. Things look fine. I would say if Bitcoin, I could see this, like I could see like 112, which is just a clean range low retest, right? But just because the setup is there doesn't mean it has to happen.
Yeah, I think this is one of those, again, I think this is one of those lockout kind of slow grind off the low for Bitcoin, and then it just meat sticks higher and forces everyone to FOMO in. And I still really think that's what this is.
Yeah, I think
look how we looked coming out of the sorry, Tuck. Look how we looked coming out of the May lows, right?
Yeah.
Nice bounce, grinding. Look like no, lower.
These April?
Yeah. Oh, sorry. Looked like that was going to roll over, right? Didn't that look heavy? Looked like it was going to roll over, maybe retest the local market structure, maybe kind of go back for the lows, and then bang, you get that big kind of lockout separation candle for Bitcoin, and spurring a multi-month rally.
Yeah, you might need to see 112 though. Honestly, you might need to see just looking at where RSI was back then, it was a little bit lower than where we're at now. But
so I want to point this out to you guys. So this is a kind of an interesting way I use the RSI spaghetti tool. So right here I have the 4 hour, the 6 hour, and then like the 3 day. So like zooming in on this here, you can see this is our 6 hour line, 4 hour line is in blue, and then the purple is the 3 day. right? So you see your lower time frame RSIs oscillating around your higher time frame one. So like this is your higher time frame one, and you're getting these like, lower time frame RSI oscillations around your, your higher time frame one. So when I look at this here, I say like, overall, you're just seeing like a 4-hour, 6-hour correction, and your 3-day RSI is still sitting above 50. Like you're not going to see some monster sell off until, you start to see like, your 3-day really getting ready to bleed down. Like to me, it looks like the 3-day is trying to curl higher, kind of like over here. And you've got like a little 4-hour correction going on right in here. So I don't know. I don't think it's bearish. I really don't. Like it just feels like we're in a range waiting. And then when you add in the context,
Max, did you see this real quick?
What does that mean?
I mean, that's one of the best comments.
That's a good one. That is a good one. I don't even know if I can continue on after that, man. That was a death blow.
Baking sun.
Oh, I get it now. It took me a while to understand that. Okay.
That one was a thinker.
Yeah.
Damn.
I don't know. Things look fine. Play it like a range. It's really simple.
What I like though is, and not many people are accounting for this, is that we've already kind of got our harsh rejection on a 117 underside tag.
Mm-hmm.
Like we rejected pretty hard once already, and that kind of brought us to our lows. Now we're coming back to that level. If we're coming back to the level after a hard rejection on the first attempt, that tells me likely we're likely going to get back above it, right? If we weren't, we probably wouldn't have came all the way back up here. That mentality doesn't always work out, but I like that we've already rejected hard off the 117 underside. Obviously, it's a clear supply level, so clear resistance. But I think again we're going to see continued kind of press and chop into this major level until sellers run out of supply, and then we're just going to absolutely meat stick through it. So
yeah.
But I am more confident that we have rejected once already hard. What was that, like a month ago?
I mean, just looking at the volume right there, it's like it's kind of here or it's at like 112. Like there's a decent gap right there. So I mean, I think that move probably happens, and that's ends up being a good thing. But I mean, I guess we could just keep grinding. I mean, if you think back to like the 37K range before the ETF approval, that was somewhat similar bull chop. So
bull chop. We also when what was that? When else did we do a long time? Let me look. It was like a long time frame worth of bull chop that really had everyone confused. When was that? Like November of 2024, as we kept bull chopping higher, that had a lot of people confused. Also coming out of that 8-month range, that 8-month range when we left in end of 2024, that was just bull chop grind until expansion. That's what Bitcoin likes to do. It kind of gets everyone super bearish at the lows, slow grinds off the lows, continuing to look like it's going to roll over at some point, and just continues to grind higher until eventually working through all that supply and just chatting higher. This is very Bitcoin-like price action we're seeing. Not something we haven't seen before. And this is the type of price action that gets, no one really knows what's going on. And local low time frame traders get absolutely chopped to bits.
So this couple things I'm looking at here on the chart. One, visible range volume profile. We talked about this for weeks. This region, right? Like this shelf, this node problematic, right? Like obvious, like there's above that, there's nothing but air for higher, like nothing. Above that, you move up. Additionally, we saw a bunch of liquidations down in here. I can remove these lines quick so you can see the liquidation bubbles. Like traders got smoked when we moved down in here. Like so many liquidations occurred. Okay. I'll move those back on. There is such a heavy skew of liquidity and liquidations resting above this range right here. Like so much. Then this blue cloud on here is, it's basically just like a 200 candle SMA EMA cloud. As long as you're above that, like you're trending higher, like you could retest it or something like that. Yeah. But you're most likely going to take this shit out sooner rather than later.
Yeah. Yep.
Really simple. Like 4-hour trend is up. You might just get, maybe something like this. It even looks kind of similar. Like
does it? Yeah. It's what Bitcoin likes to do.
Yeah.
Like, what if we just do that, Or maybe a longer version of it. Maybe this, I don't know. But like we're an uptrend.
Yep.
Max, will you pull up IWM?
Yeah.
We're getting a little bit of a sweep and reject from all-time highs on this chart.
Okay. So I was talking about this morning with our Discord. This is the all-time high. Let's go back and look at last cycle. I literally was talking about this morning. Look at what happened last cycle. This was last cycle's IWM all-time high. Sweep, jeet, rally. See that?
Yep.
Yeah.
See what we're doing now. Sweep, jeet, rally. Most likely the same thing.
Yeah, I wouldn't consider this a rejection. It's just we're at a resistance. It's the biggest resistance level on the chart. We haven't been at these levels for what, a year now? Seeing some little local sell pressure is normal, right? It's very normal.
Will you pull up RTY1 exclamation point? Now, I'm going to need you to go ahead and hit the B adjust button.
Nah.
Yeah. So this is actually honestly better. Like we're not even at all-time highs yet on this chart. So I kind of like it more than the sweep and reject that we've seen on IWM and RUT and other ones. But yeah, that was the first line I drew on it too. But I don't even think we really got there the way I have it drawn. But I think you still got room on this futures chart.
You do. We could just be doing something like last cycle.
Yeah, I like that. I mean, I like the COVID comparison. It's just not exactly the same, but the chart looks the same.
Yeah. It's so funny how much different the chart is when you adjust for contract rollovers.
Yeah.
So looking at the Bitcoin CME chart, guys, I've been talking about this for a long time now. As long as, so like we had this gap right here, right? As long as we're holding this gap, which was resistance here, and then flip to support. As long as you stay above this gap, we're bullish. You can come and chop around in here, that's fine. But I can't get bared up on Bitcoin here, man. Like support below us, a lot of different time frames. Really just kind of chopping around, you know.
Yeah. No
Tucker,
gap.
I'm gonna pull your chart back up. I Tommied it for a long time.
That's okay. That's okay. Somebody a while ago made the comment about this 2-month chart. And how he didn't like this
2-month chart.
Yeah, I haven't really. I mean, I have it as one of my time frames, but I really never look at it.
I mean, we also put in a similar pin bar at like 60, 70K.
What here?
Yeah.
Yeah, we just don't want to do this for this long. That would be brutal.
I'm not a fan of I like high time frames, but it also depends on what asset it is. Like Bitcoin still, I mean, it's getting there, it's getting up there, but it's still relatively young asset. So I think like anything over the monthly, I feel like is a little abstract and obscure way to look at things. Not that you should ignore it. It's definitely something to pay attention to. But I don't know. I feel like it's still a relatively young asset to be looking at higher time frames than the monthly. I don't know. That's just me though. But it's interesting.
Yeah. Now, I mean, for a while there were some similarities in the monthly going back to 2017. I don't really see it as much anymore, but just because on log at least these candles have gotten so small, like we're just not moving the way we did back here. But
when you add in the context of what Bitcoin miners look like, I think that's telling you something is about to happen, right? And something bullish is about to happen. These charts look ready to go, man. Absolutely ready to go.
now, did they move first or last? Last couple times.
I mean, they majorly diverged from Bitcoin last cycle.
Yeah, for sure.
Bitcoin still moved up, but like most of the move for the cycle was done.
Like back here, they topped at the same time. They topped before Bitcoin. They kind of moved first. I mean, Riot was kind of the only one back then, so it's kind of a good indicator. So
I feel like they tend to rally during the last leg for Bitcoin, which I think we're likely entering.
Yeah, like this right here.
Yeah, that's
Moved. Yeah.
And funny enough, on that Bitcoin chart in 2017, like we had an August sell-off and then rallied from September all the way through like the end of the year. Very similar to what we're doing now.
Yeah. This is actually also a good comparison. Like, same thing with MSTR. Like, if you see this on miners, that divergence, it's probably done,
Yeah.
Let me look at I like the Riot chart better. I'll say that. This actually didn't have a divergence here. Moved at the same time.
Yeah, Mara runs a little bit later, I've noticed. It's like usually rallies like a month behind Riot. I think because Riot has earnings in October and Mara has earnings in November. But we're definitely seeing some movement out of them. They look really good. I'm in Riot and Mara right now, as of last like 2 or 3 weeks ago.
Are you thinking they're going to pull back a little bit more, Louis, or you think they're just going to kind of do their own thing and pump really hard when Bitcoin finally starts pumping?
I mean, I think maybe locally, but I think this is a start for a multi-month rally for the miners, right? They've been pretty much doing nothing for a year and a half, 2 years.
Yeah.
So they've like Riot is already was in like a year and a half like ping pong consolidation range, right? So it kind of did all that like pump drop for the last year and a half. You're finally leaving that. Sure, locally, but this should be where we see the true move and breakout. So no, I don't think we're going to see any major pullbacks on the miners. I think the move is just getting started.
Yeah, they look really coiled, man. They do.
Seeing some nice bounce back out of equities right now. We're seeing a nice little local bounce out of Bitcoin on the lower time frames. I like that.
Yeah, I think we need to see dominance kind of bounce here, pump one more time. Just looking at it.
I agree. I think it's going to bounce. We talked about that yesterday.
Yeah.
And that would be indicative of what I'm talking about, like Bitcoin putting in like a big, like, what the fuck, 10K candle to the upside. Everyone's like, what the hell just happened? Bitcoin dominance bounces hard, puts in a shoulder, and then it's ETH and altcoin times to shine. Like, we're due for a big candle for Bitcoin.
Mm-hmm.
Not many people are expecting it either, I feel like. Because if people start seeing that, they're like, I feel like the majority consensus is, oh, yeah, Bitcoin had a nice rally, probably close to a top of some sort. Not many people expecting much out of it, but if they see Bitcoin, putting in, a move up to 135K, that's going to instill a lot of confidence, into the crypto market. Like, wow, this, we got a lot of room and juice left for the asset class, So I think that'd be the best case scenario.
Yeah, I think I really do think, and this is a bit anecdotal, right? But it really feels to me like most people are like sidelined waiting. I don't think a lot of people are just like ready to move higher, truthfully.
I agree.
And again, that's a bit anecdotal. I don't have anything other than just like what I'm seeing out there from other people.
Yeah.
But
I'm getting the same feeling. And that's exactly the environment and recipe you usually see before, Bitcoin puts in that what the fuck candle. And then everyone's forced to FOMO in, That's what Bitcoin likes to do. And like I saw the comment earlier, it was in the beginning of the show, and I agreed with the take. Someone said, do you really think that ETH is going to give another shot at sub 4K for sideliners? I don't think so. I don't think that they get that. They don't deserve it. They likely won't get it.
They don't deserve it.
No, they don't deserve it.
I don't think you can. I really don't think you can, bro. I don't think you can lose like 42s I really would not want to see.
You shouldn't lose 4K. Maybe on a wick.
For sure, but I don't think you can lose 42, man. I don't think you can lose 4250, 4200. I think it would be ugly below 42. So
yeah, I don't think they get it. That ideal entry, I don't think they get it.
yeah, I can't. There's nothing down here, bro. Like you come all the way down to like 3,400, and that would be terrible. So yeah, I don't like it under 42. $3,300 sounds nice. It would probably end up being more like 3K.
I really think ETH just kind of holds up here. Because here's how I view the current local structure. It really feels to me like they're trying to convince you that like 3,800, 3,900 is going to happen. And it's kind of an obvious local pullback. If you were to zoom in and look at it, you can keep these lines on the chart. It feels so obvious, almost like bait to me, where there's just a huge inefficiency, like right under 4K. Like right there. Yeah. Like that little inefficiency. It almost feels too obvious to me. I'm not willing to die on that hill that it won't get filled. Just like I think the longer we hang out here without it breaking down, it should be viewed as bullish.
Yeah. Yep. Totally agree.
Yeah, there's like no volume here. I mean, if you want to draw FVGs, this one filled this one did.
But I think the context of that FVG was it was a breakout candle, right?
Yeah, no, for sure.
Breakout candles don't always get filled like that.
Yeah, it's like a breakaway gap. It shouldn't. If the trend is as bullish as we think it is, you really shouldn't be coming back for it.
We already kind of gave a little shot at it.
Yeah, and you partially filled it too, which is also good. Yeah, if you like drop that down to like the 4 or the 6, like that kind of like curling down, like I felt like that was like that moment and I was talking about this in the Discord and on stream, where like that kind of curling slowdown into that red line you have there. I felt like a lot of people were waiting for that kind of trapdoor drop, right, to kind of sweep that low. And ETH did the thing where it has obvious liquidity below, but it stopped on a dime and curled back up. And usually when you see ETH do something like that, where it's that close to obvious liquidity and doesn't drop, usually it's the start of a major rally. I feel like if we were going to get the drop, it would have came from there. If they're really cynical, they pump it and then they drop it now, right? I mean, I think, and that's what's kind of Jackus has talked about. That's kind of that would be pretty brutal to the market and would definitely shake people out. So I could always see it as a possibility, but I still don't think that sidelined capital here gets that saving grace and that drop. I just don't see that happening.
Yeah, I really think you gotta stay above like 4,200. Like this whole let's see. This whole area. It's gotta be it. Or else you're getting this. But we could keep bull shopping. We could just keep doing this.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm looking at the heat maps. We got tons of liquidity above on Bitcoin, not much below locally.
How does Sol look here? If we looked at Sol today.
have not, I don't think. So zooming out, this was that zone we had drawn out. We came into it having some trouble here, probably a bear div if I had to guess, but I mean, I'm fine with it above like 235, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But because to me, this looks actually more like Bitcoin back at 37K than anything else. Let me just pull this up. Let me pull this up. Where is it? Yeah, this. Like to me, we could begin something like this for Sol.
That's the bull chop into expansion. That's what I've been talking about. Yeah. Just working through that supply. Yeah.
You know, because for Sol, at least, this is definitely the last area. Like there's nothing up here. Really.
Also kind of looks like Hyperliquid before it's like kind of broke its high too, like on the lower time frames.
So many charts out there. ETH, Sol, like so many charts. They all look like they're just at their last possible level before full send mode.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I know we can nitpick, you know, the microstructure and be like, oh yeah, we'll pull back like, you know, 2% or something like that. But when I look at these charts, man, I'm like, okay, Bitcoin dominance looks pretty damn heavy to me. Sol is like pressing all like the last bit of supply overhead. ETH literally just stuck like right at the previous cycle all-time high. And I'm just like, we might just be getting ready to go as we're approaching, you know, cyclically, historically, the most bullish quarter of any quarter of all 4 quarters, Q4, in a bull market, which we are in, with the Russell hanging out right under all-time highs. I'm like, I think it might be a situation where those that are those that nitpick entries too much are going to end up kind of shooting themselves in the foot, where it's possible you get some pullbacks, but I think you need to be prepared for not the perfect high time frame pullback. Like I look at Sol here and I'm like, yeah, we could maybe see like, you know, 230 or something like that. But what if we just start moving? You know, what if?
Yeah. Let's see. It's not on
Yeah,
there.
what's the deal with this? I've been seeing a lot of chatter about
I just
after.
had to go look it up on CoinMarketCap because it's not anywhere.
I see a lot of comparisons to Hyperliquid.
Yeah, I mean that's the easy comparison is, you know, Circ market cap is at $1 bill, Hype Circ is at 20 bill, free 20x, you know, but I don't know if you I don't know.
I mean, it's hard to be bearish. Like you're betting against CZ if you're bearish, right?
Yeah, for sure.
I don't know. It just almost feels a little like crowded, like almost too much chatter, but I don't know. Sometimes it doesn't matter.
What is that like? Is it live yet?
Yeah, you can only buy it on their decks, I'm pretty sure though. So I don't know. And you can't chart it like anywhere, really. So I mean, I think it'll do well. Like, I mean, for sure. Like, I'm not trying to fade CZ here. Like, I think it's definitely going to pull some numbers, but
I feel like it's something like let the hype cool down.
Yeah, I mean, it could definitely get from here. It's brand new. CZ's behind it. Like,
Yeah, I guess we are in a bit of an echo chamber, so we're probably still probably very early.
yeah. I mean, I think it's probably going to pull some numbers, but I don't know if you can just look at it and go, yeah, 20x straight to Hype's market cap, but probably gonna rip.
Someone said it's live on MEXC, so that might be a chart.
Oh, it is. I did not know that. I know it was on Bing for like double the price the other day. I think somebody said that. So. Yeah, what is that? I think this is the right one for AV&T. It's at like 300 or 400 million. Aster's at 6 bill FTB, I'm pretty sure, micro. I think it's 1 bill circ, maybe a little bit above that.
Asher's already at 6 billion. Jesus. Yeah, it's gonna be. I feel like it's gonna be like a pump, you know.
FDV, Louis, FDV.
Oh, FDV.
Yeah.
We'll see. Probably not gonna FOMO and chase, but if I miss it, I miss it. But something that goes live, bleeds for like a week or so, you know, maybe worth looking at then.
So this is the ticker.
No, this is
This is something else. This is
Okay.
a Vant or something.
This is a Dex, Perps Dex on base. So
Yeah.
kind of,
Somebody asked about that also.
yeah, this is interesting. Prometheus has been talking about this. A lot of the base people are.
Yeah.
I think this is like 200 mil or something right now.
Yeah, I think so. Somebody said, does MSTR come down to fill the gap? What gap? We have a gap on MSTR.
Not that I know of. I mean, if you're looking at the low time frame, maybe from yesterday.
I don't think gaps on anything below daily matter, honestly. Like,
You didn't get anything.
yeah, I don't think 4-hour gaps really do anything on the equities, but there's technically a gap at 170, but
Someone asked for XRP Pepe by the super chat.
I got this one. Step aside, boys. Step aside.
Yes.
I've been watching this one for a long time. Looking at XRP Pepe here, I think this chart looks like it wants lower. I think that the closest comparison is like this, and then basically just, a big shoulder that's been forming. I would actually maybe move this up to like this region right here. This supply. It looks like it's getting ready to break down, in my opinion. You've had this clear trend right here, kind of like you did over here. I definitely think that this chart looks distributive, without question. Without question. And we'll pull up Pepe down below. Gonna have to adjust our y-axis. So we can put it in log mode. So really what you're just looking at here is like fundamental versus meme. Like that's really what this chart is pointing out here. And it just trades unbelievably clean, right? Like if you look at this all-time low on this chart, this deviation, it was when Pepe pumped into all-time highs from the Coinbase listing. But this chart to me very much so looks like you're doing something like this, monster reaccumulation on Pepe, and your meme versus fundamental valuation is getting ready to break down just like it did somewhere over in here. So I am very, very bearish this chart. Very, very bearish this chart. I think that like how clean it trades, like look at how we rejected perfectly from the underside supply on this pump. You know, so I zoom in and I look at this. I'm like, man, this chart is getting ready to just nuke right now. Just nuke. So I really think that Pepe is going to just completely liquidity vacuum steamroll everything. Someone says show the inverse. Yeah. I mean, again, it looks really good. Like this thing looks like it wants a lot higher. I don't know where I think it's going to go. I think this is kind of an obvious region to start. And again, it's flipped, so it'd really be like, you know, just a collapse down there. Huge move from Pepe. But yeah, I would not be overweight XRP when the chart looks like this against Pepe. I think XRP can go up, but I think that the pair chart is telling you where your capital should be focused.
Yeah, it is clean. It's a crazy looking chart up top, but
it is a crazy looking chart, but it actually trades pretty damn clean. So like, I don't know. I really think you are like, you are right there. You know, you are right there. And then, you know, we can expand this out a bit and we can look at, let me find it here. Pepe total. And I think that Pepe total is coming to the very end of its consolidation here. So like I think that Pepe is getting ready to rip not just against XRP, but against total. Like you look at this chart and it looks so incredibly similar. Pepe, you know, bottom, consolidation, compression against total, right? Like it literally feels like you are right here. You're running out of room.
What's that top chart?
This is Pepe total. It's Pepe paired against total. So for those that are unfamiliar with this concept, it's basically just like the same thing as ETH BTC. We have Pepe divided by total. So Pepe against everything in crypto. And it really looks like you are getting ready for a monstrous break higher here. Monstrous.
so this is Pepe dominance essentially.
Yeah, essentially. I mean, you're running out of room here. It looks like you are. It looks like you're right here. You know, and you're doing this final little here. I'll pull it up over here too. Let me get the. Let me sync these globally, and then move over here. Pepe total. I mean, this feels the exact same to me. Move this here. I mean, it feels so unbelievably similar.
I like it.
I mean, I literally think Pepe is in this final little, like, it's doing this. Like, we're right here.
Yep.
That's what it feels like to me. Pepe total.
Yep.
What else can I say?
Watching that. Sentiment on Pepe would say yes. You're right.
I don't think we're gonna get such a crazy pullback, guys. I don't think we're gonna get such a crazy pullback. I think we're getting ready.
Chop before the pop.
I mean, look at the RSIs too. It's a 12-hour chart.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you're doing like this thing, you know, after rejecting up in here, right at your trend line again. I don't know. I'm just like, I just couldn't be more bullish. It is what it is. I can't apologize for it. The prophecy was outlined on this channel years ago, and it will be fulfilled.
Indeed.
And you can choose to participate or be sidelined and coped and poor. It's that simple. Those are your options. You either get it or you don't. And I don't really have time or energy to explain it anymore. Let's look at some more pair charts. Why not? Let's just keep looking at pair charts, even though I'm out of time and energy to explain it. If you just don't get it, then you just don't get it. And I don't know what else to say other than I'm sorry. Pepe Doge. You're in just some giant bullish compression bleeding into high time frame support, just like you were over here. So Pepe Total, same spot. Pepe Doge, same spot. Pepe Total 3. Giant breakout, like just brewing, just absolutely brewing. Pepe Bitcoin. Floored out, guys. Completely floored out. Breakout pending. Pepe ETH. Been watching this one very closely. Previous all-time high. Caused the bottom. Converged with the bottom of this channel. This is Pepe ETH. Breakout brewing against ETH here, guys. Very similar to this. You're just going to wake up one day and it's just going to go. I don't know how else to explain it. Okay, here we go. Max, just to be sure, Pepe up, Andy up. Sir, allow me the honor. Andy Pepe pair chart. Look at the compression that's brewing here, guys. This is like the world's greatest bullish compression for Andy Pepe pair chart. Like, this chart's going to rip too. The only thing I could see happening here is Pepe pumps and then Andy Pepe bleeds, but Andy USD goes up. And then we get a huge rotation. Like, look at this compression that's brewing. Let me flip it. This thing is getting ready to break down, guys. This is like a 1.5 year long compression. How about Wolf Pepe? Look at that. Wolf Pepe. He's Breakouts are coming, guys. Pepe fart coin. Someone asked about that one. This is kind of an awkward chart. I do think at some point you will take out this high, like sweep the range high. But I don't really know how to read the structure here. Like you're kind of at support, but it looks uncomfortable. So I don't know. Yeah, things look good, guys. They do. And just while we're on the topic of pair charts, I don't want you guys to forget who called the top on this chart. I will not allow you to forget who called the top on this chart. His name is me.
His name is me.
His name is me. That's what his name is. His name is me.
Mr. Sir.
This chart is going to get obliterated, you guys. Absolutely obliterated. The worst carnage you have ever seen. This chart. I am telling you, I have nothing against their community at all. I don't get the anime girl thing. That's beside the point. This chart is going down. If you hit the SPX 6900 trade, you made so much money. Congratulations. It pumped too early. It pumped way before ETH. You had beta outperforming your alpha. This chart is going to lose this range high. This chart is fried. Okay. It is time to rotate back to the king. Okay. Pepe is going to steal the show. And then you're going to see a huge rotation into Pepe beta specifically. Hashtag my bags. And it is what it is. This is the Cheeto in the door right here. I'm telling you right now, this thing may move higher, but it is going to get obliterated against Pepe. I'm not even trying to be a hater. I'm just looking at this chart. Flip it. It's Ogre. Shrek. Study Shrek.
Study Shrek.
I want you to study Shrek.
Study the muffin.
Get out of my swamp, donkey. Okay? Study Shrek. It is over. Pepe's time to shine. You will bow down to the king, and his name is Pepe. I don't know what else to say.
Yeah, that looks like a massive falling rising wedge.
Dude,
Breakdown.
it is cyclically topped, this pair chart. And I'm not saying SPX 6900 doesn't go higher, but I'm saying it is cyclically topped against the king. And I've been on that for well over, a month and a half. Saying that's it. I will not relent. And I will be taking victory laps. It is what it is. I wish I didn't have to take a victory lap. And you might say, Max, you don't need to do that. Act like you've been there before. I don't feel like acting like I've been there before.
Yeah, we've gone that route. Right.
All I'm saying is if you hold SPX 6900, look at the Pepe pair chart. I wish it wasn't so, you know. I wish it wasn't so, but it is. It is so. Okay. And on that note, I think that takes us into the end of the show. Guys, thank you so much for being here today. Greatly appreciate it. Hope we had a fun Friday stream. Guys, before you go, do us a solid, show some love, hit that like button on your way out, and also subscribe to the channel if you guys are new here. Big shout out to the people watching on Pump. This is, I think, our third stream over there. Seems like we're growing a little audience over there as well, like 20, 30 people that don't seem to be on YouTube, don't recognize the names. So shout out to you guys. Happy that you guys are joining us for Market Check. Guys, quick reminder, there's a banner on top of my chart, bbterminal.com, guys. We built out a better version of sites you guys are already familiar with, like Deck Screener. Looks very, very similar. Custom indicators, order execution coming very, very soon, guys. It is the absolute best place to chart your shit coins, guys, bbterminal.com. It is 100% for free. So we would greatly appreciate if you would make that switch and support us. And again, it is 100% for free. So check that out, bbterminal.com. If you really want to up your game in these markets and you enjoy Market Check, you are going to love our Discord community, guys. We do 2 private voice calls every single day. One at the New York Open, one at the New York Close. We do, screen sharing, just like on Market Check with Q&A. No. They're using the phrase cycle top is in to identify each other.
Another sweep of the lows. These are all catchphrases.
Yeah. But guys, the Discord is great. You're going to get, again, like 3 hours a day of private live voice calls with me, Louis, Tucker, Tommy, Jackus, Wabi, Will, like the entire team, right? Q&A, private screen sharing, chart requests. We also have analyst channels where when we take positions, we update you guys with what we're going on, how we're positioning in these markets. So guys, check that out before you go. And again, if that's not for you, then at least consider switching to bbterminal.com. Better version of what you're familiar with, more custom scripts, custom updates. And again, if you guys have any suggestions on what you want to see, things that maybe like Dex Tools or Dex Screener is not including, let us know. We can control that stuff. We can build it out for you. Guys, thanks so much for being here. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, switch to bbterminal.com, join the Discord, do something, show the boys some love. Thanks for being here. And we will see you guys Monday for another episode of Market Check. Everybody have a great weekend. Stay safe and take care.
Tired of outdated trading tools, confused charts, dozens of tabs, endless stress? You're not alone. Introducing BB Terminal, your all-in-one command center for crypto trading. Track your portfolio, monitor the markets, stay ahead, all in one place. From chaos to clarity, from struggle to success. BB Terminal.